been asked to say why we love St. Mark's, why we are contributing to the Living Stones 2 campaign, and how much we're giving. I grew up in Delaware. I was in the Army, and as a first lieutenant, I was stationed at Fort Lewis in 1970, expecting orders for Vietnam. I questioned the morality of our country's actions in the Vietnam War and looked in the yellow pages and found a church and found St. Mark's. I talked with the Reverend Murray Trelease and decided that I was not a conscientious objector. A parishioner, Mary Bruce Lehman, who has on the steps of St. Mark's, was gathering signatures for a petition to end the bombing in Cambodia. She befriended me as a parishioner at St. Mark's. Many of you are too young to remember the Vietnam era, but it was filled with fraught times. After serving in Vietnam and moving to Seattle in 1973, I joined St. Mark's. Thanks to St. Mark's encouragement to integrate justice into our lives and work with refugees, in 1975, I was able to sponsor a South Vietnamese refugee, Tong Nguyen. He went on to have a successful career and family. Another St. Mark's family, Jim and Diana Gale, sponsored a Vietnamese family with 4 children. That was one of the things St. Mark's was doing way back then. One of those children is a St. Mark's parishioner today. Thanks to St. Mark's, I've learned about the plight of Palestinians in the Holy Land. I visited the West Bank, and together with St. Mark's and our diocese, support the Episcopal Diocese of Jerusalem and its many institutions. Alas, the population of Christians in the Holy Land has gone from 20% to lower than 2%. Members of St. Mark's and the diocese are currently pressing for an immediate ceasefire, humanitarian aid, and a sustainable peace in Gaza and the West Bank. In addition to the liturgy and music, I love St. Mark's because of its diverse and caring parishioners, whom I have known for over the past 50 years. I could cite many more reasons, but Eliza and I are contributing to this Living Stones 2 campaign, so St. Mark's will be here physically in the future, as the previous generations have ensured that St. Mark's was here for us.
When I came to St. Mark's in 1984, it was a return to the Episcopal Church for me. I had grown up on Mercer Island in a family of regular churchgoers, but always felt much closer to God in the woods and the lake than in our 1960s A-frame church. I had my doubts about God giving humans dominion over all creatures and all creation, and didn't exactly see good stewardship happening, just dominion. After high school, I attended the rare service wherever I lived, including, like so many others, Compline here. I mostly spent the next decade and a half far from church, Christianity, and all organized religion, pursuing my own spiritual journey. Had I not met Randy, I might still be a classic Seattleite, spiritual but not religious. I was ready by then for marriage and for a spiritual community. When I returned, I found the church transformed in ways that helped me stay. The patriarchy, rigidity, and guilt that defined my religious experience growing up was now more inclusive, open, and centered on love. I found I had much in common with St. Mark's first female priest, Carla Berkedahl, a peer who also found God in the natural world. Over time, I embraced St. Mark's as a kindred community of faith with which I have walked ever since. It has supported me and helped me grow, and I hope that I too have served others along the way. My involvement in the cathedral community has varied over the years, but has never waned. Early on, as a young architect, I was called to help with facilities. As I gravitated toward landscape design and urban forestry, I devoted myself to the cathedral gardens and spearheaded greenbelt restoration and the formation of our ecology and spirituality ministry. Like Randy, I served on the vestry, he as senior warden, and together we raised our children in this place. They sang in the beloved Davidson's choir. Our son Will, who never comes to a service, comes faithfully to yoga every Monday. St. Mark's contains all of my married life, my joys and sorrows, doubts and longings, tragedies and blessings. I love this place as my spiritual home. That love includes the marvelous cathedral building and all the people, memories, and divine energy it contains. We need the cathedral, and it needs us as never before.
No doubt about it, these are harrowing times, rife with cruelty, suffering, injustice, and uncertainty on a scale we've never seen or imagined possible. In response, Eliza and I feel compelled to contribute as generously as we can. Unlike individual organizations to which we donate time and energy, St. Mark's nurtures us and propels us forth as Christ's hands and heart in the world. Here we are both comforted and armed for whatever we are called to do. Financially, we are comfortable but not wealthy. We drive one car, fly coach, and eat out infrequently. Sharing what we have is a great source of happiness and agency in our lives.
Over the course of the Living Stones 2 campaign, we have increased our original pledge fourfold to $120,000, given over 3 years to help St. Mark's reach its campaign goal. We have long designated St. Mark's in our wills, but we feel contributing some of that now will be more helpful to the cathedral. And we hope to be here to enjoy the blessings of a warm floor, brighter narthex, and the sounds of beautiful music from a new organ. And in these difficult times, St. Mark's seems all the more important. We hope you will contribute generously. Thank you.